Flashes over, smokes down. Netric trying to look for the T-side forces. They're going to walk slowly into the B bomb site. Froslave has no idea. Sensei will check out Stag. Froslave on the bomb train, though, has got to be the casualty. Lucky drops. M4 denies the bomb plant. Sensei's got to get right on there and get it stuck right now. Netric seen in the back line on the backstab. Christo coming in from CT spawn in a 3-on-2. And AGF are falling to pieces.
Christo, last one left, and well, what can he really find from the heaven rafters? And well, it won't be anything toxic to take him down. 3 kills to the man. And whoa, I tell you what, they denied that bomb, but they could not deny the trades back and forward. And there's not really any money for AGF to work with. This is going to have to be another eco from them. A great response to come out from Crazy. And that's their first round on the T side.
And technical pause will now be called here, I imagine, to fix the DC issue, whatever issues are happening for Psycho. To think that that disconnection still wasn't able to throw the round off for Crazy. The fact they were able to get those trades, AGF now losing a lot, not just the round, not just the rifles, but also the economy game. It has been crippled on the CT side. A chance to think about their money situation in a buy-up. Might have to go double eco, I think, with the loss bonus. So we could be seeing 13-8 go on the board for Crazy.
It would certainly be a statement. And you've got to think Crazy, they're in a really great position. Things have certainly looked a lot better from them on train. They've looked just very dominant, and it's great to see that they've been able to turn it around after what happened on Vertigo. What's the buy going to continue here? Because Lookie's invested in a Mag 7, but it's not quite a force. Okay.
Bit of a weird one, actually. This money line could enable a buy coming through in the next round for AGF, but most times it will just be a force up to see what they could do. Maybe TMB and Netric could have gone for a half buy or an eco of their own right. USPs and Mag 7s, damage done to Frost at the start. TMB standing by with the USP, seeing what damage we could do. No. Sergez opens up the frags. Frostlev are going to hear all these footsteps, though. They should know. Christo down. Frostlev tapping. Trying to do anything he can here, but him and Netric will get taken out. Lucky. Mag 7 on the ramp position, hoping for a frag. But I don't think anything's going to go his way.
Certainly not if he tries to go down Pop Dog, because there will be Toxic waiting for him. We're going to bypass each other. And Crazy getting closer and closer to 16 rounds on train. And I mean, what's an unbelievable best of 3 we're seeing so far? It's certainly on the cards, Jay, that we can see both teams winning out each other's map picks.
Hell of a matchup to see the situation. With the elimination riding on the back of this best of 3, and on the back of this map in the case of Crazy. Step up and try and take control. The buy-ups will come through. Orp drops straight to Crystal. They'll see 2 M4s and the FAMAS being dropped. The Mag 7 still for Lucky here. A shotgun could do damage if it's placed correctly. I think they're going to place it back over to the ramp position, get ready to receive. And Crazy out of here with the smokes and the flashes over, with the initial defaults coming in, hoping to catch off the opening kills again towards Ivy, is where they'll play in the brown halls. And Pop Dog position will be pretty passive for the most part from the T side.
It's actually a deep smoke coming out for the CTs towards Brown Halls, but they're not committing with it. So it's a bit of a fake that Crazy might think, hang on, is there someone around this smoke very aggressively? These nades down Pop Dog, they could do some serious damage onto Netric if timed right. so damn
Molotov on
slow.
Yeah, slow as you mentioned, the nades and the Molotov do come out. Netric's going to fall out of dodge before they even get that control, though. And he's going to reface in, continue to hold Pop Dog presence. That's where most of the teeth have been shown here for CR4ZY. They're being very careful about this. Upper control from Toxic here may indicate a B-site play, but CR4ZY have time to make the decision. Still set up here, 3 players towards Pop Dog. Psycho. Incendiary's back. He's not going to drop here, not just yet. Flashes over and Netric knows that there could be a T-con entry. That's aggressive. 2 players to find damage done to both, but he doesn't get the kills. Now the AWP's got a focus fire as the Mag 7 moves in. You're going to go hyper aggressive, but it's get punished for it. Nice out. AK gets the kill. They run back into the B bomb site. CR4ZY drops the bomb. Looks for the second player. A Toxic headshot angle's locked. Psycho comes in from the ramp position. Cristo gets a trade back to 3 on 2. The plant can be secured. TMB can't provide support just yet. He sees Sensei. Sensei takes him down. The timing on that peek away couldn't have gone worse. And now Cristo, the only thing left standing, knowing where at least one of the T-side players is at. No kit, no smoke, got to stick full 10 seconds on it. Can't find the kit either, making a lot of noise. They know roughly where he should be at here. Sensei. Oh, the scope of Cristo looks back in. He heard where Sensei is, but Sensei stalling for time. Cristo around the corner to get the exit. Frag, but he misses. And AGF concede their weapons and concede the rounds.
Oh my goodness. AGF. The fact is that they get that opening kill out from Pop Dog. There's a great double peek coming down. And from there, Lucky actually aggresses with the Mag 7 to see if he can cut off, you know, and try and see if he can rotate quickly to help out the A-bomb site players. And from there, he spots out the bomb. And Frost lives in such an awkward position. He doesn't know whether to check ramp or heaven or try and fall back. And he's just caught in the open. 13 rounds up for CR4ZY. What should be a 14th, considering it's just an eco to come out. They keep buying this Mag 7.
Lucky's really hoping that he gets some sort of shotgun kill to open up the round with it and then spiral it out of control. PDB from CR4ZY could be a bit more successful, but he does end up going down alongside Sergis taking TMB. But yeah, this is not a round that AGF can win. This is going to be 14-8. And man, the times where CR4ZY have found several rounds in a row, AGF just looked so switched off there. We saw it a little bit in the comeback over on Vertigo. And this could lead to the map ending in a 16-8. Unless they can find their own comeback and CR4ZY switch off. Be one final buy up here from the CT camp. AWP's in 2. Okay, first time the double up setups come out in this half. AGF need to put it to fantastic effect.
Yeah, look, they absolutely need to, because you look at the economy from CR4ZY and it was going to take 3 or 4 rounds in a row to really start to damage that economy, especially if bomb plants are coming in. It's not going to be an easy task at all for the Danes, and you're absolutely right. You know, it's been some lackluster performances in terms of some of these rounds from AGF, and, well, CR4ZY looking very strong at the moment. Now, we have seen some Brandhorse control coming out from Cristo, so they can actually pull that 4th player over to the A-bomb side. This is a lot of information at the moment, and Cristo finds that opening, re-peeks in, doesn't quite hit the second.
Gets out of dodge as well, not looking to reface. Molotov's in, Netric getting aggressive, getting Dem Q down. Okay, 5 on 3 and a bomb control, as you mentioned. They've got ID presence, the AWP at TMB knows this. Getting back to the bomb site on the bomb train. Extensions coming out from Netric as well, continuing to face here over at the T-con presence. Hiding back in the cubby corner, and the T's may get baited into this as well. If CR4ZY holds his angles, and they basically won the round.
There's no way you come back from this from CR4ZY. There is no way you check this position of Netric. You don't check it. They're going to try to, but, well, look at the crossfire being said. It is absolutely stellar coming out from AGF. And, well, for CR4ZY, it is all fallen apart going into round number 23. They've seen where Sergis is. And they don't have to try and take the fight. They know that he doesn't have bomb control. They know they're running down the clock, but they want to try and take the fight, Jay, because, well, why not?
Well, hey. Is this the start of AGF switching back on here? Could well be. If it is, And that means the game is back in their control. It means that this 5-round comeback is still possible for the CT side. We could be seeing another very, very long map on our hands. I pray to God that we do not see another overtime, but I pray to God we don't see another overtime and a third map, please. Let's not see that.
And you've got to think for AGF, the only way they can establish a comeback is if they play with confidence. If they play with a loose style, they're looking for opening kills. They're, you know, being able to bring out these one-on-one angels. That's what we need to see from them, because crazy, all it's going to take is one round and one opening kill to get to 15, and that's Sensei finally opening onto TMB. And from here, even DemQ taking advantage of the E-Box player, that could have been another big opportunity.
Netric finds CR4ZY, but they check his right-hand side. There's going to be a player right around this corner. Smokes down from Christo, going to try and focus on this. Flashbangs away, and the T is continuing to press up. CR4ZY checks out his position, seeing Olof, Sergiz, and Sensei get 2 picks back. Lucky left alone. Sensei's already watching this angle. Shoulder bait, shot not connecting, spray through on the bomb plant up. Doesn't even come through. 15-9. Map point for Crazy to turn us to a third. And there is one final buy for AGF, thanks to the strength they had in their earlier rifle victory, but it's got to go through straight to OT.
And for Crazy, you know, these last, what, 3-4 rounds, they've been pretty passive, pretty methodical. They go, right, we need a change-up. We need an absolute change-up. Let's go out quick. They go very fast out. They get some great opening kills almost immediately. And you even look at that buy, I just don't understand how many times the Swag 7's going to keep coming out. But for AGF, they need to find an opener. And they need to be absolutely flawless. They need 6 in a row just to take us to OT. TMB, oh, he doesn't find anything with the aggression.
Does damage to Sergiz, but he gets the kill on the AK. With CR4ZY being tagged up here, this puts Crazy on good stead to win the round and win the map. In a minute and 25 to make the defaults work out and take placement into an execution. They're going to back off away from Ivy, expecting more CT presence. No one will be there, though. And T-Con control established, Pop Dog control contested. This looks to be an A play with a smoke coming out.
Oh, Netric. He needs to be able to shut this down towards Pop Dog, and straight away they've given the position up. Netric's just going to get sandwiched in from the Pop Dog presence and from T-Con. This is going to be a very difficult hold. There are 3 players here at the A bomb zone. Oh, CR4ZY, this could be all important. Christo's going to try and help out.
And go for the backstab instead. Looks to face in directly from the bomb site. 4 on 3. Or close. Oh! In. Sensei drops the man. And now CR4ZY and Lucky, last 2 players, 1 M4, 1 Swag 7, 4 HP for the man. The AWP shuts him down. It's all left to Lucky with an impossible to win clutch. They know where he is. Sensei's got his scope on. He's ready for one final shot, one final 3K to shut down this map, take us to overpass. And when the smoke clears, he'll have immediate agency on this player. He'll keep himself pretty passive, actually, but see the man land the leg. Look, he's out of this one. Toxic takes him down 16-9. We're going to map 3.
Oh, my goodness. Well, it seems like for both of these teams, winning out each other's map picks. And Jay, for AGF, I don't know. They just really did not show up on a consistent fashion. Yeah, we saw some great rounds here or there where they looked very impactful, but it didn't carry off round after round and throughout the first and second half. And you've got to think for Crazy, the fact that they brought a massive comeback through on Vertigo, they lost it in OT, now they've been able to win out Train. It just keeps going back and forward in this series.
And again, they look so switched off when AGF lose these round streaks. Like every single time, it's just the case of where have they gone? Where is the confidence stance? Where is the great picks that they were finding? Where's Christo landing his shots? Where is, you know, where's CR4ZY holding his own? Where's Lucky getting his picks? He was on a Mag 7 so many times, got no impact with that weapon. Yeah. And just, I don't know what happened to AGF there, but they just fell off the edge of a cliff and couldn't quite claw it back in the way they did on Vertigo.
It certainly seems like the mental game was a big factor on Train. You could certainly see it in their play style because they seemed to just lose it in some rounds, and TMB just did not show up at all. He was a massive fragger. He put up almost 40 kills in that first map. He didn't even get to double digits on Train, and you've got to think the mental game's a big part of Counter-Strike, and it affected AGF massively on Train.
Well, train will be a loss for the Danes, but Overpass will be their final stand against Crazy. It's our final map of the day here in this best of three. Well, at the end of Overpass, one team is making their way to the playoffs. The other is out for another week here in the Malta Vibes. Do not go anywhere. We're back after this very short break with our final map up of the night.
Nice shot. Lock and load.
Wow, very good. Let me show you how it is done. Yeah, no. Woo, damn! That was one of the best tickle fights I've been to.
Jay, are you muted?
Ah, there we go. That's better.
I helped you, mate. I helped you. Go on. Start again,
We
mate.
have
Start
reached.
again.
Okay, right. Okay, just pretend this
Alright.
thing and just roll with
Yeah.
Immortal Vibes. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Mortal Vibes. Welcome to our final map of the night here, which will be overpass between AGF and Crazy. By the time with the next hour roughly is over, we will see who will be making their way through to the playoffs for the final time tonight. I'm the Eternal J. I'm joined by Dwayne for this one. And what a roller coaster of a series that we've had so far today. I mean, it's had its up moments, but it's also had its fair share of downs. And I think the downs is what's really brought us to this final sort of port of call.
Yeah, look, it certainly hasn't been the cleanest of Counter-Strike from both sides, to say the least. You know, we saw Vertigo, Crazy's map pick going the way of AGF, then we go on to Train. We see a little bit of a lackluster performance coming out from AGF. Crazy show up at a very decent level, and well, that's now taken us to Overpass. So, look, Overpass is a bit of an interesting one, because one thing that you certainly mentioned in the pregame when the series started is that if we go to a third, statistically, like, win ratio is not very great for AGF, but they've also played a hell of a lot more than Crazy has.
Indeed, they have. Unfortunately, a hell of a lot more does not count the map of Overpass, which will be the final map that we played here. It's one of those maps that they don't. They try their best not to play it a massive amount. They certainly don't use it as one of their highest sort of like played sort of maps. It's sort of like middle of the table, like, you know, middle sort of like play rate. Their win rate is also very atrocious on it, I won't lie to you, and especially against the CIS teams. They've lost to some major Russians. They've lost to the Polish squads as well. You know, and against Crazy, well, they've only played it a few times. Their results have been pretty have ended up in decent win rates. The issue for them in that respect is actually that the teams they faced off against, they're not particularly good per se. Fate is one result, sure. Rhein-Neckar and Z Zombies. You know, like those aren't exactly AGF at the moment.
No, absolutely. And I mean, you can kind of take into account, I mean, it's a bit of chain logic, but Fate have been really hit and miss on Overpass recently. They've been a team that has been heavily involved in the Malta vibes, and a team that have really not done too well on that map. So, bit of an interesting stat line that out of the other two teams, that Fate's really the only one that people are going to recognize. But I certainly think that coming into Overpass, I don't know how much of past results is going to pay into account into this game. For what I see is whoever's not showing up is probably going to lose the series, because that's what we saw on both Vertigo and Train. It doesn't matter how many times they played it before and what the results were. It seems like we can't follow that stats into this series.
Yeah, no, and I think that's really the key thing. Again, as I mentioned, the reason why I think we're here is because, well, AGF, they were in control basically throughout the course of Train. They had a really good T side. It wasn't a great T side. They didn't win the half, but they were able to get an opportunity for the CT side to get started. They got those those two conversions, one of which was a rifle round following into another rifle round in a weaker buy, and from there, they just switched off. And we saw that over on Vertigo when the comeback came in from Crazy, when it was just like, well, where have AGF gone? Where is all this talent? Where's all this star power and potential? Where is all these guys who have been working well as a unit and picking up upsets and close results left, right, and center? And that might be one of the consistency issues we see with AGF, because I think you are right. I think this comes less down to particular, like, you know, results on this map and more down to on-the-day performance. I'm just saying that I think, you know, some of these results need to be taken into account here, because I think that, you know, you compare how Vertigo went, you compare how Train went, you compare the results of those, and I feel like sometimes that you have to weigh up the situation in that respect, because I think that those past experiences are going to play into whether or not they can recover from those positions.
Yeah, absolutely. And I certainly feel as if for AGF, the inconsistent behavior is something that we've noticed over the course of, I would say, maybe the last 6-8 weeks of this team. You know, sometimes they can come out of the gate absolutely firing against some of the best teams in the tier 2 region of Counter-Strike, and other times, like, you're right, it's like a light switch. You know, they either turn on or they either turn off, and you've got to think going into Overpass, they can't use the fatigue card. Maybe Crazy can use it a bit, considering they've just played a best of 3, then going into another one. But for AGF, they had a massive amount of break. They had a big time to get prepared into this series, so they can't put the blame on, oh, you know, it's getting late, it's getting tired, because no, I'm not accepting that.
I mean, if they both had equal levels of break, or maybe if they were the ones in this position, I would accept that.
Yeah.
But the truth is that Crazy have carried the momentum in from the last
They
series
have.
against Honoris, and you know, they've had some close scorelines. They had a pretty one-sided matchup. Not too one-sided, but certainly not double digits by the end of it. That's down for matches for certain. So, you know, for them, they certainly utilised that little energy and the warmth that they've had from, you know, getting themselves hot into that series to move over into this particular series and potentially take it away from AGF. For me, I'm kind of riding the Crazy hype train in that respect. Like, I can see a way for AGF to take the matchup and take the map, you know, if they're able to keep their consistency and keep their top level of perform throughout the course of the entire map, or at least turn it on in a crucial moment where it's like, look, okay, we're down by a few. Now we have to step up and really just sort of like, you know, just go balls to the wall from here and win the map outright. But the issue for me is relying on that confidence. And my personal ethos is don't ever rely on a team that hits the highest of highs, but also reaches the lowest of lows.
Yeah, look, I don't really want to keep changing my prediction now. I said Crazy when the matchup started, then I moved over to AGF, and, you know, I'm going to stick with the Danes. And the reason for that is, again, you know, we've talked about some of the stat lines. I haven't seen overpass before from Crazy, and that what scares me a little bit is that, you know, maybe I could be wrong, but because I haven't seen it, I don't really have anything to go off of, whereas at least for AGF, I've seen them play this map a couple of times in the past couple of months. So I've seen that they've got a very good T side. They've got a very good ground basis on this map. So even with the lackluster performance and the inconsistent behavior that came out on train, I certainly feel as if the Danes can pull ahead, but I think this is going to come down to the wire on this last map.
I agree. Again, it's a case of different philosophies between the two of us, I feel like, in terms of our predictions. Yeah. And at the end of the day, it could really swing either way. Again, it's all down to win conditions for me.
For sure.
And as the ninth round gets started, we'll have to find out how well they'll fulfill those win conditions. I want to remind you, of course, that Malta Vibes is brought to you by Gaming Malta, a home of gaming excellence. You're going to stick with AGF on this one. I'm going to go with the Crazy camp. I think I predicted AGF at the beginning of the series. I can't remember, to be honest. It was so long ago. You know, for me, like, I think the Crazy a little bit more going their way in this one. Not much, but enough.
And one thing that we haven't really mentioned is you got to think, like, these Crazy guys are hungry. They made playoffs last week. They'd love to be able to make it again. And it would be very disappointing for these guys after, you know, so much hard work that they would to not go into the playoffs and get knocked out into the group stage. So that's always an element, is it's like, how much do the team really want the win? A lot of the time when it comes into that third map of the series, the hunger factor can play a big part in the series.
Well, AGF will get their ninth round, get their choice aside, which will be the CT forces, as you would expect out of most teams that play this out. Now, Crazy, when they have the CT side on the few maps that they have played, it has been an overwhelming victory rate for that CT camp. Their round win split is 71 to 28 on the percentage numbers, so CT side is all the rage for the Crazy side. It could well be a chance for AGF to turn into their favor, so much so that even LootBet consider this to be a dead set even matchup. If you want to take advantage of those odds, then you can go to the link, the banner underneath the Twitch channel, get yourselves involved. You can get yourselves €100 on a bonus for your deposit and 10 free CSGO spins via LootBet. So, pistol round, utility out for DemQ and Sensei, smoke molly and a molly double flash, but no kit, no utility for the AGF side. It's straight pistols and Kevlar for the entire board.
And look at the setup around this A bomb site from the city side. They've got intent of taking some opening fights. The aggression coming out towards long. And the T side, well, they don't win out the opening fights. Looky with his USP. It's going to be able to find 3 massive kills. TMB is going to back him up. And well, maybe the hunger factor is there for AGF because they shut down that pistol round.
Wow, that's a start. That is a hell of a start for AGF, and one that you really wanted to see, I feel like. Froslev to close it down, but looky, beautiful shots connecting to every single head he sees. And AGF claims such a confident pistol. That's probably knocked the wind out of Crazy.
Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. They were set up, even if they didn't get aggressively, they were set up to deal with the A presence from Crazy. And I tell you what, those pistol shots coming in from Looky were sensational. What a start to come out from AGF. The guns absolutely rolling. And, well, they are going to see if they can find any more going forward, because with no bomb plan going through, it's just going to be Glocks.
Yes, it's going to be basics, and the SMG is already aggressed. Just if they can take them down. A couple of P250s out for Toxic, actually. I thought Psycho had one, apparently not. But either way, no Kevlar, no utility, and the best that Crazy are looking at here is potentially getting a cheeky frag on a rifle and then just using that to save into the next round. Not get some damage, probably wouldn't be a good idea to save on T-side, but either way, 1:10, and slowly but surely they'll make their way into mid and long.
What is surprising is the lack of SMGs actually coming out from AGF. Just that single MP9 backed up by an M4, a AUG, a couple of FAMAS. And what that means is that they don't have a lot of utility to use because they spent so much money on the upgraded rifles. So you've got to think for Crazy, they can certainly try and see if they can do some damage. A bomb plant would be ever so successful. That's a great opening to start things off.
Sponsoring Christo though, the 4 versus 4. He's dropped that bomb out in the open, I believe. He jump faces now, he'll see it. He'll take out DemQ as well. So Sergey's Toxic and Psycho, last few players left. 25 seconds to the clock. SMG peeks in, get his kill. Toxic, last player towards the bathrooms area. The last player on long will get dealt with. And Christo ends up with 2 kills to close it out. 4 kills overall. And a second round of the board of AGF to buy coming through from Crazy.
And one thing you mentioned, Jay, is the fact of this CT side, in terms of percentages at least for Crazy. And you've got to think that, let's just see if they can put up a decent result on T. If they can put up, what, 6-7 rounds, you've got to think they've got an advantage going into that second half. And going into the first gun round of the game, the AK is up for the Crazy side. I'd like to see what the style of play is, whether they continue their passiveness, because especially for at least the maps that we've seen from Crazy in the past, they are a very slow and methodical T-sided team.
Crazy out to the T-Con presence. On about to that mid control. Slight bit of monster play from DemQ, but he's definitely the lurker in this context. The bathroom challenge from Froslave could allow the opening frag to go his way. The shots for connecting from DemQ will just force the map position here on the CT camp. Utility coming through to try and block them off. That does siphon off DemQ from the monster play, though. It looks like he's going to be pushed in, and look, he's going to take him down for one good frag to open things up. Are they going to aggress off the back of this? I think they will. Netric just looking for the AK. He'll fall back.
This could actually work out really awkwardly for Crazy, because if Sergis goes onto the site, he can say A's clear and pull the rotation over, but I don't even know how necessary this will be. 3-on-3. He's going to call it out, but there's CTs behind him.
Yeah, on long, on mid, he's managed to make his way around. The FAMAS will tap up, do some damage. Sergis does full, and Frostev now in the mid position. Toxic's about to be in for a rude awakening, but he gets the kill. And back to evens we go. 27 seconds. Christo with the AUG, 46 HP. Toxic so close to him. We're going to have to wait for this smoke to fade if he wants a clean shot. And even then, it may be a bit messy. Smokes up, he peeks forward, does not get past it. He's literally touched the man. 12 seconds. Christo in such a good position to shut this down. He's won the round. It's over. 3-0 for AGF. Disaster for Crazy.
And it looked like he was walking into him, so I'm not sure if he thought that he was stuck on a wall or what happened there, but so unfortunate with the timing. And Christo, well, his position's just vital, and drops that bomb, follows up with a secondary kill. A great round coming out from AGF. And for Crazy, it seems like it's going to continue on the T side in the fact of the pacing had looked pretty slow there on the default, pretty methodical. They got some great map control, but unfortunately, not all of the information was found from the T side.
A good start from AGF to follow suit from here. Eco should come through for the T side, and there shouldn't be much of a contention at this page. The SMG for Netric to try to take the frags back. Sergis does get a deagle headshot on Frostev, so that's a start. Continue on from here. It looks like Christo will respond to a 4-on-4.
I just need to make sure that this round isn't too expensive. Oh, Oh, okay. It always happens to us, Jay. I don't know how this happens. That it looks like someone has got a sick second kill or third kill or whatever it may be, and it's not quite. Not quite. But look, good shutdown coming around the banana position. Crazy. Now, they have picked up at least a kill. They've at least picked up that much, and they've recovered the bomb. They're going to try and continue this presence of the A bomb site.
So we've had the crossfire set to Ivy on the train map.
Yeah.
Or fake collateral through smoke, which we also thought was a collat, which was faked. Speaking of fakes, this is a fake defensive coming out from AGF. 2-on-2, Serg has managed to isolate 3 picks, and this eco could still go well from Crazy. The SMG, the AUG making their way in. Netric on 23 HP, the AK seeing them both, takes that face, unable to connect the shot against him. The bomb's been planted in the open as well. And both these players set up as crossfires lock the line up for Sensei. And disaster strikes for AGF. That was an eco round they just lost.
And I think that's one thing that you mentioned, Jay, the fact that it's like the switch on and off. How can you lose to a round where they had, what, Deagles, a couple of Tech 9s, they even had a couple of Glocks on the playing field? They just can't be losing rounds like that. They're going to be able to recover 2 AKs from the CT side. What a round coming out from Crazy. And AGF, it seems that the inconsistent behavior was shown in round number 4. They had advantages to start the round off as well. They had, what, a 4-on-2?
I think the damage has been done to the AGF economy as well. 2 pistols out on this force up. The boost from the AWP of Christo better be ready to take some frags back. But nothing going to be seen early on here.
And that buy has actually forced them to at least try and get aggressive over at B and look for information, boosting that AWP up, not seeing anything to connect her. And for AGF, you can certainly realize that in a round like this, they'd like to try and get up close and personal. They don't quite have the weaponry to try and play the long-range fights and play deep into the sides. They are establishing a bit of a crossfire out here towards long, but for Crazy, there are 3 players here.
Under a minute to go, TMB with the M4 locked on, ready to receive them. Toxic gets Netric, AWP strikes, M4 swings, Sensei drops him to a 4-on-3, Crazy in control. And Christo forced back with the flashbangs. Time is ticking. Where is the bomb? It's been dropped out towards long. Okay, so they're not in the worst of positions right now, but Crazy need to act upon this A bomb site. They're taking way too much time. We saw this over the course of both their best of 3s today, and the AWP Christo could shut this down. They last second rotate into the B bomb site. CZ and Deagle holding to control here. Molotovs towards Toxic. Deagle taking first contact, facing away from the flashbang. CZ's got to peek up and strike, especially as Lucky goes down. Nice out, trying to take Sensei, not quite. He was inches away from connecting that headshot, and now the AWP of Christo, all that remains. Demq runs around the corner with a knife out and a headshot comes in. Crazy get their second on the T-side board.
And already, I'm looking at this T-side, and these guys are mirroring the T-side of Gambit youngsters. They take so much time. They rotate down in connector, and if that CZ would have denied that bomb from going down, that round would have been over. And we've said that, what, on Train, on Vertigo, now on Overpass. There are so many times that I feel as if this playstyle from Crazy, if you face them up against a Na'Vi or, you know, just like a Forza or a Hard Legion, like a top CIS team, that they would struggle because I don't know. It works, but it's just it's frustrating sometimes. That's a great cleanup, at least, you know, not even losing a single player.
3 all in the anti-eco as well for the MAC-10s in particular to feed up all that cash to the T-side camp. The money certainly going to be flowing here for Sergiz. Couldn't quite get the 3rd pick on the SMG, but the Glock should be good enough. And again, no a single player going down for the T, so good anti-eco. M4's coming out from us is in for Netric. And this seems to be the 4-man boost coming out here from the T side. This could get really interesting if Sensei gets up. I wonder if Crazy can get an opening kill. They're struggling to get it together, in fact, actually, so nothing going to come through from this T side camp. try and look on as the aggression starts coming out, and they'll realize now for the CTs that there is nothing in. Sensei actually drops to Lucky. That M4 headshot, a big frag to find on the wall, and a second kill coming in for him. Psycho will drop the trade, but a 2-for-1 gained by AGF.
And that's one thing the City siders have really been working on recently, is trying to adapt to that 4-man tower boost. And there's so many negatives to trying to go for that, especially if you can't get it quickly, and how much map control can be taking from the CT side. And well, you just have a look at that. Just so much aggression coming out from Lucky. He spots it out. He gets a couple of great kills. And from Crazy, they don't even really have the map presence at the moment. Toxic, he's going to get flashed in towards short to at least get some control. But they're getting closer to, what, 40 seconds on the clock now, and they're really not in a position to make a play.
Nice for Netric trying to check out the Toxic. Sees him, takes his head off his shoulders. Nice and easy. CR4ZY finds a trade back on Froze left towards mid. And they haven't checked the tunnel. Psycho going to be on for 2 frags. DMB drops him in the bomb. And CR4ZY trades it back to a 1-on-1. Low HP for the T. M4 make its way up carefully through to the underpass and through to the connector area. CR4ZY will get the bomb plant, but where will he go from here? He'll be heard. Christo hearing those jump faces. Now getting out of dodge here, the M4 with 2 flashes coming out, checking out position. He's actually in a decent spot here, can tap the bomb, try force the peak. CR4ZY's forced to go back over via Graffiti, but Christo, if he stuck that bomb right there, he would have had the defuse at this stage. Actually, no, he's not got a kit, so CR4ZY's playing the time game really well, but not on the position. The Molotov actually comes out, there's no smoke. I think Christo's lost it! What? CR4ZY's the hero for Crazy. That's a 4th to the T side.
Oh my goodness, that's insane. Oh, the timing on that. And he realizes CR4ZY is so low. He's like, I can't swing off the first tap of the bomb. I need to make sure that he's just not sticking it, and just hope he's not. The double tap comes through from Christo. The molly is perfect. Now, if he would have had a smoke, no worries. That round would have been over in AGF's favor. But no. Oh my goodness. And they're probably going to have to half buy too. They can't force the issue. 4 in a row from Crazy. This is unbelievable. What a round to win.
And this is the one thing that we were worried about for AGF. The switch off. Because, man, they looked pretty switched off there. Oh, look at the M4 boost up for Christo, seeing the feet of one player. DemQ gets that kill. Netric and Christo can respond with a deagle back onto the map, but they know that boost is in place, so Christo's got to get back off at dodge here. The only M4 needs to stay and keep his eyes around the corner. 4-on-4 situation.
A lot of B presence coming out from Crazy. So in the setup they're in at the moment, it's going to take quite some time if they want to start to make some way out to that A bomb site. It'll probably be through connector, but even the player that's closer towards Con of Toxic, he gets taken down. And they've got to think, right, how can we start to target in this round? Because the CTs are now starting to get aggressive, and they must know. If Psycho's being forced this far back, Crazy must know that AGF are getting aggressive, and they're getting a lot of map control on the CT side, which is giving them a lot of information of exactly where Crazy are on the map.
An advantage gained by AGF, 40 seconds to the hit, and Frostev continues to push up through on the pass. This is gonna be a backstab. If he presses forward with it at least, Psycho gonna lead that charge, and they'll make their way out of Monster. He's wrapped around. I think this is over. I think AGF know what's going on. 3 players on the B bomb site. Frostev ready to try shut them down. The Molotov comes out. He takes a fight, which he wins. The Eagles back in. Damage done, leaving CR4ZY on 13 HP. 1-on-3. Frostev gets a 2K. Rifles can get recovered, and that is going to be a 4th responder 2 for AGF.
Oh, what a bonus coming out from AGF. They really weren't looking to be able to close out that round, but they just get a couple of nice kills. They get those opening fights. They get that 4-on-3, and they're just looking for information. A massive backstab coming out to wrap around the T's from Frostev, and from there, it's just numbers game. A 4-4, we get tied up. Both teams being able to get a very strong buy-in to going into round number 9. And I look at this round and I say, right, the winners of this are going to get some momentum going forward and could potentially start to win some rounds in a row.
M4's out, nades missed on Crazy. That's a bit awkward. MQ rotates out, the flashbang's in. Try and throw one of these players off, but that flashbang could have gone a bit further, actually connected against the wall, and therefore Them blind everyone on the bomb site itself, just a player at Monster. They're crazy again, not placing optimal utility positions. They're going to rotate back out and try play towards the mid in the T-con and underpass area. Minute to go, and they've established very little map control and will be contested from aggressive angles. Case in point, Cristo opening up the round.
Oh, one thing that AGF do a really great job at, especially on overpass, is when they find the opening pick, they don't look to try and find any more. They work together and play a little bit further back. Crazy, this is going to be really awkward for them. They've got to make a call. Do we want to try and work together over towards A, or shift the momentum back up into the B bomb site? Considering the time, considering that they're already a man down, they can't continue to default.
Toxic takes Froslev back, crazy. The move in, Lurky, M4 on the edge, and Lurky's gonna get spotted first. DemQ takes out Netric, B site is open for business. Rotations in from TMB will come thick and fast, but DemQ's quicker to the graffiti area, leaving Cristo alone. And the execution so much better there for Crazy. They're gonna take the lead back from the CT side.
Oh, so frustrating. It's like, I can understand how low the time is and they're trying to look for information, but Looky pushing Monster doesn't help anything. Like, if he doesn't see anything, he's not even in a position to rotate quickly to A. If he pushes short, then yeah, he can wrap up through con. But him pushing out Monster doesn't achieve anything, and they just give away unnecessary fights. And surely they must know how low Crazy run down the clock. Man, that's just overextension, and I think it comes down again to just the switch off. I don't know what the call was or what it was, but those were peaks you just don't need to make.
At this kind of stage in the series, you can't afford to make those mistakes. AGF need a good CT side, and right now, Crazy are already within touching distance and making a good T-half work their favor. Force buyback from AGF, seeing 3 M4s, 1 MP9, and TMB on a pistol. I think that's a deagle. And they better hope to God that this happens somehow here. That this is going to be such an awkward sort of round. And look at TMB already tagged down. 35 HP thanks to the nade stack. Utility coming in, what looks to be a counterplay from the CTs at least, will stop any major execution coming through.
And outside of the pistol round, where's the aggression out towards A? Like, we've seen, what, the boost coming up over at B. Sometimes we see the sandbags boost. But all in all, AGF have played very passive in a lot of these rounds, establishing crossfires around that banana and bathrooms area. But outside of the pistol round, where they got very aggressive, we haven't seen any forward-fronting play for AGF. That could be the good change-up that we need to see from them, because Crazy are getting a lot of momentum at this T side, and they're limiting the economy from the CTs.
So gets around this corner, Froslev spotted him, spray goes awkward, that's the first kill found by Crazy. Cristo on long, and Sensei pops out with the AWP, takes his head off his shoulders, and TMB left isolating, and probably sandwiched into this A bomb, so they're going to converge on his position, and he is basically a dead man walking here inside. They come up, Toxic, peeks in, man goes down, 2 players left standing for AGF. This is a round over, a 6th for Crazy, and now comes the concerning streak here for AGF. I don't think they're going to have a chance to recover this situation.
It's going to be a tough one. It really is. And it certainly seems like we're seeing deviations on their CT side, but they're not drastic enough for me. I'd certainly like to see a bit more of a change-up coming out from AGF, because outside of that 3-0 start, we really haven't seen a lot of intent on the CT side. And especially when you've got the players as sharp as they are, get them up close and personal, see if you can take an opening fight. It's always very difficult to heavily over-aggress when you're playing against a really passive team, but it's a change-up that really needs to be made on the CT side, because Crazy, they're getting to, what, 50 seconds, a minute on the clock, taking this map control, and there's hardly even any damage that is done to them.
Well, as hell reigns on AGF, hell could bring you 6 skins. Hellcase is our case partners. Malta V 15 on your coast to get yourself some free money and refill bonuses. Go to hellcase.com to open some sick cases and get some 6 skins. And it will be hell for AGF here again. This is an eco round around the M4 that Lucky has got. DemQ already taken 2. That is the M4 dropping as well. And well, if there's any doubt in your mind that this round was probably going to be a chance for AGF to turn things back, then, well, I mean, that's probably been shut down right there and then, isn't it?
I actually really like the intent, honestly. Even though it doesn't work, they recover that the M4, but they're looking to get aggressive. We saw the flash coming up towards Monster. Yes, DemQ has a really great hold, but it certainly shows that AGF have realized, okay, this is not working, us playing passive in the sites. Even if it doesn't work, the change-up's there. So you've got to think for AGF that sometimes what's really difficult on the city side is when you keep losing rounds and rounds, it's difficult to own up to your mistakes and even realize what your mistakes are, because a lot of the time things like that come back in demo watching and, you know, post-game analysis. It's very difficult to change up a lot of setups mid-game. But for AGF, they need to get a little bit more control in terms of map presence, and they showed it in this round right here. It wasn't too successful, but at least we saw it.
This crazy 7th here on the T side, 1 away from winning the half. AGF have one final buy to try and turn it around. And for, of course, save by first left, so that's fair play. The rest of the investment should come through from the CTs. I think they're at max loss bonus as well at this stage. Like, seems about right with the current rounds that we're seeing go in the way of crazy. So, you know, the AWP's in for Sensei, for Cristo, the M4, the AK is continuing on. And nades up from Lucky, hoping to do something against them here, but forced back by the T side. Just play their default standard standard. Nothing out of the ordinary here for Crazy.
Oh, great opening, and even for Netric, you know, he's trying to see if he can find a bit of early information, and well, Sensei, he's just ready. He was holding that sight line for about 20 seconds in the round, and from there, Crazy go, right, we can back off from B, we can start to take some presence over towards this bathrooms area. We've got a player in towards Connector, which is slowly clearing that out, so at least we know a bit of map presence of, okay, this area is clear, now we're going to start to make our way up to A. Just leaving a single lurk over at that B bomb site of DemQ. He can fire away, use a little bit of utility. He's only got a single flashbang. And Toxic's ready for any kind of aggression to come out from short. And they've got to realize the fact it's getting under a minute left on the clock. They've got a man advantage. AGF should start pushing at some point.
Time's ticking. They are going to start pushing forward now here towards that long control. Meanwhile, Crazy looking to short B and split in from Monster. One player in Sergis back over at the bathrooms will try to keep contention and hold his own control. Flashes over, M4's wait for Lucky. Does catch DemQ, not fully blind by the flashbang. Taps from Sensei, Orb scoping, hoping to take the man down. TMB's low and also dead. Lucky holds on to a 3-on-2 situation for the CTs. 20 seconds left, and the rotation coming out of the A bomb site. We'll see it be completely opened up. Rotations come back as Crazy do storm A. It's going to be an open and free bomb plant and a retake to the man advantage of the CT side. As Frozen drops Sergis, Sensei's last man, back turned, and he's gone as well.
Oh, that's a big round coming out from AGF, and unfortunately, they actually got pulled out from that fake. I don't think that was intended for Crazy to go back up to the A bomb site, but it was just the fact that they went into a wall there. The execution came through, a great resmoke coming out from Lucky around that monster position, and from there, they shut it down. They forced Crazy up in through connected to the A bomb site. They retake as a unit. Yes, the bomb plan comes through, but there's so much money for Crazy. They'll be able to get buys out for the rest of this first half. It will be no problem whatsoever from them. And for AGF, a great shutdown on the execution to come through from the T side.
Froslev going to get that opening kill on DemQ, so a big start here for AGF again. The M4 Froslev coming out player towards this mid position. Psycho down, 5-on-3. AGF. Man advantage for Crazy, forced him to go a little bit more passively in this one. Not over a minute to go to the clock, and less than standard defaults have actually worked out against them this time.
And that was great. coming out from Frostlev. He gets boosted up out through connector, finds that opening kill, and then on the fallback as they try and retreat to the side, he's able to find 2. And for CR4ZY, they realize the fact, okay, we don't really have much map control at the moment. Let's just see if we can find something out towards B. Christo landing a great shot into Sergus. And you've got to think for AGF, they shouldn't even lose a couple more players here. This is a 5-on-2 advantage. One of the best rounds we've seen from the Danes yet.
$100 points of health for every single player on AGF. They really didn't hold up much contention at all here for CR4ZY. Looks like they're going to go back and save their weapons here in T-Corner, back at the T-spawn. I'm on the back of Sensei.
It's kind of questionable why they're saving, considering how much money they have. I suppose they don't want to give up an AK or an AWP over to the CT side, but it just seems like it's more impactful to take weapons out of the CT hands, considering that their economy's not that strong.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, the economy state of CR4ZY is going to enable them to buy for the last round, and if they were able to take those weapons away for the 14th, then you know, a good win in the 15th could potentially put you 9-6 up. The AGF coming back into their own here, looking switched on for the end of the half. Try and grind their way back into a lead by the end of it. Potentially carry that over to the T side, where the fortunes could change for the Danes. Orbs back out again for both sides. CR4ZY turning to their standard default positions, it seems. 4 players out towards Monster this time. 1 player out of T-Con, so they're just going to play the lurk and try and keep the CTs from aggressing much further than this. Short control won't be allowed by the early utility play from AGF. They do fall back and wait for CR4ZY to get aggressive, because once again, it's their passive defaults here.
And this could just be a simple set execution coming out from CR4ZY rather than slowing it down for a default. And here it is, quite quickly into the B bomb site. And it all comes down to the entries. The information comes through, but TMB is able to find the first.
Psycho doubles back towards a 2-for-1 trade, though. Nade from TMB is unable to do any more damage from here. He's jump facing. Toxic's heard that. Molotovs from Graffiti spray through on Sergis. Molotov back towards jungle as well, keeps TMB out in the open. By the time the Molotovs fade, the smoke would have gone quicker. Now Christo getting access to the B site from Heaven. Oh, Sensei shuts it down, takes away that incendiary, so that way he keeps his life. 12 HP, and he's kept alive by that frag, with him and Psycho following suit, dealing with TMB and Frostlev. CR4ZY will get to 8, win the T side half.
And you even look at some of the numbers at the moment for AGF, and they're damn low again. At TMB, it really seems like outside of Vertigo, we haven't seen anything from him. Really put up a very lackluster performance on Train, only finding 4 kills on this map of Overpass. And that's a big worrying sign, again, for the AGF side, is the fact that the players just aren't showing up like they normally do. Yeah, the rounds are close, but it comes down to the kill stat lines, especially when you go later in through a map. Look at the aggression, though, coming out from AGF. They're actually taking short water control for one of the first times in this first half.
And Christo opening up. Toxic responds. The 4-on-4 situation again. Train's going back and forth. No real advantages gained before the execution set. And CR4ZY going to lean towards the long control. Toxic continues to hold the mid player. TMB drops Sergis. AWP focused up, completely blind, but a flashbang, and as it clears, DemQ takes him down. Still 1 player in the back of the bomb site here, over on bank. TMB watching for control. Toxic takes his head off his shoulders. Response from Netri comes out to mid. Cross locked, but Sensei takes him out all the same. It's all left to Lookie. 1-on-2. M4 up. Bomb plant received. Both players going to line up. Backs turn. This could be disastrous. And DemQ and Sensei throw the round away. Thought they were clear to long, they were not. And AGF take as close a half as you can.
The only position they don't check where they're repositioning to. Oh, that's big from Lookie. That is a massive clutch from him, and we've seen him with the clutch potential over the course of this best of 3. And well, we spoke about this last map being down to the wire. That first half, a 8-7 scoreline up for CR4ZY. You can't get any closer than that. The odds could not be further apart, all things considered.
AGF still favored to lose this map up here by our friends over at LootBet. Of course, make sure you're taking advantage of our 10 free CSGO spins and our €100 bonus for deposits by clicking the banner underneath the Twitch channel. It's our pistol round. Our final pistol round of the night. Double flash and smoke for Netrix, flash smoke HE for Psycho.
Oh, they're going to see the connector play. Oh, this could work out awkwardly because the T-side, they're all coming out. Toxic. Oh my goodness, they only find one kill. And AGF, you'd have to think they've got to go quick in the B now.
MQ standing by to try hold off against them alongside Psycho in the back lines. Utility coming out, Glock facing up. Netric tagged up, MQ takes him down. Looking around this corner. He's desperately looking for more heads. 3-on-3 situation in the midst of the smoke. Looky drops 2 frags. Found Sensei comes in against TMB. And Christo's dealt with by DebQ. Big defensive on the bomb site. 3 kills for the man. And Crazy get the all-important second half pistol.
Oh, those pistols were so sharp on the defensive, but for AGF, they worked the map control incredibly well. But unfortunately, it was once they went onto the site, they couldn't continue the presence. They had the great split coming out from the short pipe and through connector, able to isolate a 2-on-1 advantage for them, bringing themselves a 4-on-3. But from there, they just can't open up. They can't continue the presence into that B bomb site. And well, with no bomb plan going through, they can't force the issue. This should be double digits up for Crazy.
Yeah, Eco to get to the rifles, which is where AGF want to contest. Sensei ready to fast and catch alongside Sergiz. Nice $1,800 gained by him. Psycho cleans up the last frag on Netric. And Crazy set themselves up for the beginning of the half here. Will it continue? Will it carry on?
You'd have to think it will. One thing in particular is when Crazy get going, they're unstoppable. They get some great momentum. They get a great streak of rounds. And even with the amount of work that those MP9s did in that last round, Jay, that's going to allow Sensei to get into that AWP. And that is so damn quick into that second half. There it is.
Opening frag, TMB down. Speaking of him, he's been particularly quiet over the course of this series.
And where was that from AGF?
I should say over this map, 5 frags so far in this one. Continue your point.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, where was that from AGF in the first half? We didn't see any aggression really from them on their CT side. And Sensei doesn't even need any help. He doesn't need any flashbang. Doesn't need any teammate support. He's there with the AWP. He wants to find the opening kill, and that's an easy pick. He finds a 5-on-4. They can go back into some passive stances, and it's just 2 very different styles on how to play CT side.
Less than a minute to go. AGF setting themselves up for the B-side execution. Froslev on short, going to be joined by Christo. He's keeping his eyes on connector just in case. 3 players on the B-side defensive to hold off against them, though. Crazy are well poised to deal with this. DemQ is also there. He had a 3K in that pistol. See if he can do better with the rifles. Sensei's the opening frag, and Netric will respond. Double up on DemQ and Toxic. UMP of Psycho. Only thing left back here to the B bomb site. Christo's going to get Sergiz, so literally it's only Psycho left here. Sensei. Oh, the transfer could have taken out Netric as well, but he's got to get here now. The AWP's got to do everything. Deagle out. No headshot. No kill for the man.
Oh, they're so low. Christo at just 19 points of health, and I think Netric was at 8 or 9 points. Very, very low survival members from AGF. But the entries were really nice. We saw the opening man advantage go the way of Crazy, but they isolate some great entries out to the B bomb side. And the utility, it's just not there quick enough for Crazy. Okay, well, I think we've certainly got a bit of a map on our hands here. Again, the winner of this map will progress into the playoffs to join the likes of Hellraisers out of Group B. And we've seen a Zeus kill coming out so far on Train in this matchup. A potential for another one for DemQ.
Mac 10's out, aggressive. Deagle in for Sergiz, but he drops down. Follow up from TMB gets Sensei as well, so 5-on-3. The nade to finish off Psycho. The timing on his peak couldn't be worse, but here's an eco coming through from the CT side. They're looking to the rifle buy. AGF will make their way back within one of the lead again. And CR4ZY have had a good start to this half to continue it on from here. He's not going to rest in the eco rounds. He's going to rest on those extra rifles. So, do whatever damage you can, but don't let it get to your head.
And AGF, not rushing the bomb plant, realizing, okay, let's go and clear out this side, just in case anyone is holding any sneaky angles. And you've got to expect, with this CZ and Zeus, they probably won't even be able to fight a kill. If they can get one, they can at least be happy, considering that they didn't really invest too much going into this round. And AGF closing the gap, making it a one-round deficit of a lead from CR4ZY. Oh, nice kill coming out from Toxic. Unfortunately, it's not an AK he picks up though, Jay.
Alright, it's the Mac 10. MQ so maybe someone made their way down from connector. If he does, that'd be great. USP out, a headshot. Nope, First Left takes him down. And Toxic falls to Netric. I believe TMB is going to go up in smoke though, so that's at least a little bit of damage done to AGF, which might come back to bite them in the long term, especially with the rifle buy coming out from CR4ZY here.
And you've got to think that Sensei is going to try something aggressive. We've certainly seen the aggressive peak coming out towards that party area, looking towards T-Con steps. But with that AWP, and he's probably the man that they should work around the most, I would say, on the CT side. He seems to be the one finding the most amount of impact. And, well, an aggressive stance. Looks like it's going to come out again. This time around, Circus, the wide swing. Forget the AWP. It's the M4A1S.
TMB is the first casualty again. His entries have not been good out that T-Con area. AGF suffering as a result. Flash in, look, he's going to take control alongside Netric here to these short and connector positions. First level keep the nades up to try and force the CTs off position, but the continual sprays here from Psycho will stop them from getting outside of those doors area. The nade on Lucky doesn't land perfectly.
Great opener coming out for the CR4ZY side, and well, they've got 3 players over at that B bomb side. Toxic, that's a big kill to find out for a Monster, and for AGF, they're being picked apart at the moment.
Less than a minute. And 3 players to go for this execution here. CR4ZY. 3 stacked up on the B bomb site, ready to receive them. Demq's going to be the first man out. Toxic going to be right behind him, and Psycho will be on the bomb site directly. And they're going to run this timer extremely low. Christo gets Toxic. Entry now for AGF. Chance available now as he's low HP, but he's bought a chance for his teammates to get the trades as soon as he goes down. Demq's still in towards Toxic. Sensei with a pick. Seeing one more. Out of short, they'll make their way up. Psycho's going to cover off Lucky, and Netric left alone. CR4ZY going to take a confident rifle. And 4 players alive for the CT side.
Oh my goodness, what a shutdown coming out. And well, for AGF, you mentioned TMB. He's not finding those entries at the moment out towards that T-Con position. And you've got to think, okay, if he's not finding those entries by himself, where is the support? Where is the support that someone is there with a flashbang? Or even see if you can change it up. Get TMB to lurk over towards Monster or out towards Short or Connector. If something's not working, you need to be able to change it up. And it seems like for TMB, he keeps going down as the early man on the contact. And for AGF, going into round 21, it's just going to be an eco half buy. Well, they're stacked up to go for a quick B hit.
From short, Flash is at the ready. Demq's got a nade. This could do so much damage. Ooh, pulls the pin, puts it back on towards short. They take damage. Demq lines up 2, drops that bomb. Has got Toxic there to support with the AK. Gets 3k of his own right. And there it is, all 5 alive for the CR4ZY side. 12-9. And AGF back on the buy here, need to get something going, else CR4ZY will be on victory row.
Oh my goodness. Okay, here we are. 12-9 up for CR4ZY. 2 rounds in a row for them. And you've got to think for AGF, the pressure's now starting to build. They're on a deficit on the last map in this best of 3 series. And they're struggling to find opening picks. And leaving a single lurk over at that B bomb site to start the round off, looking for a bit more of a contact out towards this bathrooms area. And if they can try and force the CTs back rather than finding opening kills, and it's Circus, he finds 2 kills. How is he not traded there, Jay? TMB goes down as well as Netric. Oh, they find a couple of great openings. They find 1 response onto Psycho. But how is that a 2-for-0 trade for Circus?
How many times are they going to let him peek up through these stairs area and just get away with stuff like this?
Yeah.
Like, that is the 2nd round in a row that he's gone for this, and like the 5th or 6th round in this half, he's gone up there and taken them down.
Yeah.
M4, not even an AWP, an M4. What's done that? The 4 versus 3 situation. Smokes up. And the CTs are holding face here. The A site looks to be the play. And Sensei standing alongside Sergis. There's a bit of a mismatch sort of setup here, but with the jump face seeing 2 T-side players on long, they should know what's going on here. 35 seconds, and my 3rd man has joined. A 4th player going to rotate in via the connector area with a backstab. Lucky going to take face up with the AK. First left down. Orb shot missing, but there's an M4 to trade it. They almost line up for him. Sensei refaces, drops him, and it's all left to Christo. 1 on 3. He's out of dodge. He's saving. Crazy. Now on unlucky 13.
Oh my goodness, they've spotted out Christo. If they could take him down, this would mean so much to destroying the T-side economy.
After time as well.
Yeah, but unfortunately, they aren't really in a position to try and hunt him down. And you've got to think, okay, what's the change up here from AGF? Do we need to see some HE, some Molotovs being thrown to that party stairs area? Because like you said, Sergis is just constantly, it's not as if, he does it once or twice and that's it. Constantly wide swinging to look to T-Con and finding impact. Now for AGF, there's a couple of ways of countering it. Either you need to take it fast with a lot of utility with the flashbangs to catch him off guard, or you need to nade him down. They can't allow Sergis with that many opening kills and will even the AWP to strike onto Christo. I think that was the boost trying to come up, and straight away it gets denied.
You got Lucky challenging AK MQ standing by. Sergis again getting towards that mid stairs again, taking out a frag. Oh, when does the pain end for AGF? 5 versus 3 for Crazy. M4 still holding 3 players in connector. Orb does get a pick back, but the smoke will just immediately cover it off.
And they've got so much information. They've got Psycho out towards this connector short area. They've got a player looking out at Monster. So they really have just got a lot of information that has got to be an A play. But Lucky turning it back into a 3-on-3, that now might try and split the defense. With 3 players, they've got to either gamble A or B. Now, at the moment, they are putting 2 players towards this A bomb side, but they're unsure on how they want to try and play it.
40 seconds to the hit now. Shots ringing out from long. The flashbang over against TMB will keep him at bay. The AWP scoped in to challenge onto that AWPer as well. Toxic gets Lucky down in connector. The M4 dropped. AWP drop in. Frostev. Wallbang headshot coming in on Demq, but plan to be secured here. 1 on 2. If he gets Sensei, that might be a chance. He misses his bullets. And it will be 2 away from victory for Crazy to end off a long, long night for this CT side. And AGF might not be in the best of positions to buy here.
You know what's the scariest thing, Jay? Is that every single round that AGF have lost in this second half, they haven't even got a bomb plant. Not even a bomb plant to help them with the money line. And they're going to take a tactical. I'm not really sure what they're talking about at the moment, but, they need to come up with something. Because this is looking very poor from them. And for Crazy, they're getting closer and closer to that playoff spot. 4 rounds in a row. And they're getting away with too much, I would say. Like Crazy, the way that they're just overextending, wide swinging. They're playing with so much confidence at the moment, and they're not being punished for it. So why change it? Why just play passive on the sides? Because they know that they can keep aggressing. They know that they can keep winning fights. They might know the end is nigh as well.
5 rounds to make up against Crazy. They brought comebacks like this before in this series. But more than ever, they need something miraculous to come out here. Crazy have been performing on a different level by comparison to AGF here. Smokes missed out there towards the mid position. I think there's a big gap on the left-hand side of it, but either way, the AWP scoping for Sensei. They're going to try fall back out of dodge and get out of position. Who knows, flashbangs coming in and escapes even further out. So AGF challenging a much more passive Crazy, and this might work better for them to establish the map control.
And we've seen that this long play coming out before from Crazy where they establish the crossfire. It's going to be Sergus and Sensei to see if they can back each other up. What a shot coming out with the AWP. And well, that's a shot if I've ever seen one.
There's a quarter of a second window to land that flick, and Sensei got to do it accurate AF, and he did it just there. TMB falls to Sergis, M4 still standing, Netric with the bomb. If they get this pick, it's round over. It will be map point because there's no way they can get to the bomb, get the trades in time as well. Netric gets the frag, Psycho gets the pick, gets the bomb. AWP shot from Sensei, connecting a 2K, and Lucky is left alone to try and challenge from long. If not, save his AK. He'll face in, spray through. Psycho takes him down. And it's 6 match points for Crazy to win this map and this series. AGF, it's crunch time.
It really is, and they've got to pull something out of the hat. They've got to look at their main man of Christo to find an opening pick, but they don't even have enough money to give him an AWP. He's going to be forced up on a Mac 10. Galil out for TMB. AKs across the board. Even Netric's got no utility. Froslev's only on a flashbang. This is going to be a very rough time for AGF, and they could just go for the fast speed commitment, just rush in the bomb site.
Straight out and out, here we go. AK's in, Toxic, Psycho to fall. Lucky and Frosev all get traded. Netric holds on towards one onto Demq, and Sergis and Sensei on rotation. It looks like their rush play has worked for AGF. 3-on-2 situation, bomb plant to be secured. The question is, can Crazy pull off something miraculous here?
Oh, you've always got to think that Crazy have got just something up their sleeve. This position, though, from Netric could shut it all down. Do they check this angle? It looks like they're not going to check it, Jay.
Flash in, Netric lines up 2, and AGF stay alive. 5 to go still for the T side, though. It's still going to be a hard graft to get back into this one. And the rebuy from Crazy should still come back for them here. They still won within the victory line. It's not like they've got the broken economy state. The Netric take that spray 3 different times in a row. Good stuff.
Oh, here we go. Let's see it again. And you've almost got to have that gut feeling that even with a round victory like that from AGF, that there's just going to be an instant response from Crazy. And T side making a bit of presence out towards short. Demq getting just a little bit of information, not a massive amount. Actually pretty passive over towards A for the most part from Crazy. Not really looking to start to take any early fights. Sensei is here with the AWP and he's around this divider position.
Flash in, the M4 will look to establish the connector control and go towards mid control as well. Smokes down to the mid and long positions. The team establishing their map presence. They've got Sergis to deal with aggressive here. Flash is in. He's going to get completely blind. Swing on a Froslev. Not win out the fight, but Sensei finds a trade. Still here towards the mid control. Lucky faces in with AWP scope. Doesn't quite land. Lucky will take him down alongside Crystal getting Psycho. 4-on-2. And now AGF looking switched on here. Back in the game potentially. There's a few more rounds to make up here. These weapons need to be saved by Crazy if they want another chance to buy.
Absolutely. It's vital that these weapons are saved because their economy is not probably going to allow them to get a buy in the following round. They're going to be on, what, second stage loss bonus? So they'll get 1,900, I believe, in the following round. It's not really a lot. I'm even surprised that they're this aggressive. Trying to see if they can limit the economy of the T side. Yeah, I can understand that. But for AGF, they're up against map point, so it really, for them going forward, they can't make a single mistake. As soon as an opening advantage goes the way of Crazy, or as soon as they get some map control, as soon as they get, you know, some sort of element, you'd have to think it's going to be such a difficult claw to bring that back in their favor.
No investment around the crazy players that fell. So we are out of there. This is probably going to be a 12th on the board for AGF unless the resistance is held, like Toxic tries for there. 2 USPs back on the B bomb site though. Aggression in towards Connector will not see anything. Pangea split in to try and take the short control. 4 versus 4 situation, and Sensei USP'd around this corner, potentially do some damage. AUG does get recovered instead, and he falls back out position. So AK's up, Sergey's on short. Lucky drops Sensei, drops the bomb as well. USP's come back. DemQ gets a 3-on-3 situation. Smoke back down. Will he get boosted up to the sandbags? Yes, he will. This could be massive. They don't expect it. Good kill, not quite a second. Psycho gets a USP frag, and Christo with an AWP. The worst weapon to deal with, but 2 USPs. P250 out to try to take Psycho down. He loses so much health for it, and AK is ready to take this map and this series for Crazy. One tap.